Good
While I am
afternoon.
So I
I am
getting my
I do
Shanita.
screen in
my
place.
Good afternoon and welcome to Justine Peterson Lunch and Learn today for business resources at the library. We have Regina Crandall here to enlighten us for all the things that the library has for businesses, small businesses. So Regina, you have the floor. You can make it started whenever you want to.
Awesome. Again, thank you for the introduction. I am Regina. I am the small business librarian for the St. Louis County Library, covering a lot of territory, and hopefully you all are familiar with us. So I'm going to start here, sharing my screen. And we're going to be popping in and out of my PowerPoint because most of what I'm going to be showing you today is on our website. Okay. So, where you all are in front of me, I would ask you what you think of the word library when you think of it. And the response tends to be children or books, which is fantastic. Love them both, have them both. But we can help businesses, and a lot of people are simply unaware that that's even possible. Okay, so we have a quick list here of business services we provide. Computers, Chromebooks, right? Wi-Fi hotspots. We have a lot of areas in this county that need those Wi-Fi's or that need hotspots because they don't have Wi-Fi. When I say computers, we have, and here's all of our things where you can see what you can check. Some of it you can check out, like right here, which is a Chromebook hotspot combo, and sometimes just the hotspot. All of our branches have labs. Here they are. And we have tech classes because a lot of people have a need for tech, right? Or have resisted it for a long time and they're like, no more, no more. Okay. Print. We have machines where you can take copies, you can print, you can scan. We have what's called mobile printing, meaning you can you can request something to be printed up to 48 hours in advance. You can run in the library, then take it out of the queue. It doesn't just print on its own, but it helps you with time. And so you have that. That's called mobile printing. We have scanning. We have faxing. It is hard to believe in this day and age we have fax machines, but a lot of medical institutions and government institutions only take things by fax. So when you run into those situations, remember your library. Crazy. We have notary services. This is not necessarily for businesses. It's for people. Okay. These are free of charge, as is everything I talk about today. So here on our website under notary services, it talks about all of those details. Make an appointment, what you need to bring, and things of that nature. A fantastic service, okay? We have, every library has quiet spaces. They have rooms, study rooms where you can go in and just be quiet. At the Clark Family Branch, 64 and South Lindbergh Boulevard, across the street from the Frontenac Mall, we actually have 4 different rooms that are reservable for businesses only. So these are the only 4 rooms in the entire system that you can reserve. And here is where, when you go into the small business center, one of them is this virtual meeting space, and it is different from the other 3 in that it is soundproof. So a lot of people, if you have like an interview or you're doing a program, say you're podcasting something, you're recording some content, that's what that room is. And the other ones are similar to the study rooms, but they have, in addition to a desk, 4 chairs, and a whiteboard, they have a computer screen so that you can have virtual meetings there as well. So here's how you access that, okay? Now, you should all have a copy of this PDF so that all of these links will be straight in there, okay? Now, Meeting rooms, these are different than the workspaces. Say you have a big event, it could be 20, 40, 50 people. You're getting together to do, whatever you're doing for your company, personally. You can go into our meeting rooms on our website and you can literally see what is available. Hopefully I'm not scrolling too fast. Oh, sorry. I was going here to browse meeting rooms. This has every branch. You can browse by day, you can browse by branch, you can browse by time of day. And all you have to do is book that meeting right here. Okay, so you can see right now, if you're in Bridgeton Trails, they have a meeting room available that has a capacity of 80 from now until 2 o'clock. Okay, and all you would have to do is reserve that. You just hit this button. Do you have to have a library card? No, because when you come down here, you can log in or you can register as a guest. So this is fantastic, fantastic details. Now, I'm also going to warn you in advance, these are very popular spaces. So if you want to do something, I would reserve it as far as you can. Right now we're reserving through June, and I believe in April, it says so right here. And starting April 4th, you can start reserving July through December. Okay, so you can see all of the different branches. You can see their capacity. You can see their availability. Okay, so that's a huge, huge asset. And obviously, because like I said, it's a library, it's free. Okay, so we have research and databases. If we have time today, we're going to talk about database. What's important here to understand is this is research. Well, some of them are research, some of them are fun. They're free with your library card and accessible anywhere, anytime. There's only one database that you have to be in a library to access, but all the others you can access off-site anytime. So we have subscriptions and memberships. What does that mean? Well, do you get any subscriptions? Newspapers, magazines? Since we're talking business, I have most of them up here that talk about these businesses. With your library card, you get those free, okay? That saves you a lot of money. Has anyone ever heard of, I'm going to mute, LinkedIn Learning? Now, I'm not talking about LinkedIn, but if you were to go through LinkedIn and take one of their courses, one of their webinars or something, you would have to pay, it's like $49 a course or something. If you go through the library's website to LinkedIn Learning, and I will show you how, that is free to you. Okay, so LinkedIn Learning and Udemy are the same. They're basically self-paced online learning courses. They all end in certification. I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, this is our website for all of you who've never been there, slcl.org. I'm going to go to Research and Learn. Okay, so if I go to these resources A to Z, it is going to show me, not at a glance, but all of the databases are in alphabetical order. So let's go to that LinkedIn Learning, because most people have heard of LinkedIn Learning. Now you can pay for LinkedIn Learning or Udemy outside of the library. You can. Once again, like I said, alphabetical order. So if you are new to business, there's a skill you need to know. If you need to upskill something, so maybe last time you used Excel was 10 years ago, and they've had 15 iterations since, being facetious, of course, but you need to know new versions. So this is good for upskilling. So these are business-related skills. Sorry. And obviously, I've set mine all up. You would have to do that yourself. But here's one: mastering self-motivation, entrepreneurship foundations. You can put whatever you want, but these are just some. Let's see what marketing foundations looks like. Okay. Here's an overview. There's exercises. Here's your certificate. It tells you it's an hour and 20 minutes. It's a beginner level, so you can choose your level. And it's marketing. You can see exactly what you're going to cover here. Okay. The reason for setting up an account is so that you can save it and go back and forth. You don't really want to trust your learning to TikTok or YouTube, do you? You don't know who these people are. You don't know what they're teaching you is correct. It may sound easier and quicker. That doesn't make it right. This is your future we're talking about. Okay, so this tells you about the instructor. Okay, so that is what Udemy looks like. So that's what these subscriptions mean. Okay, now we also, as a library, provide regular programming all the time for businesses and things of that nature. So you all can see my screen, right? Can someone
Yes.
nod?
Yes, we
Okay,
can
thank
see it.
you.
You're
It's
welcome.
moving, huh? When you go into events and classes, we have so much information, but if you scroll down here and you filter by business, that will at least bring up just business. Okay, so that helps. Okay, and you can kind of see some of the things we do. For example, I have a 6-week program coming up about getting started in government contracting. So it's not going to be a cursory overview. We're going to delve into each of those pieces, and you can see that you can either come to the Clark Family branch or you can do it virtually. We're doing it what we call a hybrid. So these are kind of things you would look at. Another one of the programs we have every other month, unfortunately, people were registering and not attending, so I'm changing it from every month to every other month, is you have an opportunity to talk to an attorney for 30 minutes for free about business. Okay, that's our legal office hours. The registration does not open until the first of that month, but that is something we offer as well if you ever want to get into that. So those are one-off classes. Another unique thing I have coming up in March is, I don't know if it shows you, oh, my spring pop-up market. I'm going to show you that because it has to do with this. So besides one-off like series or programs, we have, through the year, I offer incubators or accelerators. I think we all know what that is. They're 8-week programs for people that had applied to it. So it's the same group of people for that 8 weeks. And these are what they look like. Empowering Encore Entrepreneurs is for those entrepreneurs or thinking of starting a business age 55 plus. The application for that is actually going to be live February 1st through February 28th this year. And then we will be meeting mid-March through mid-May. The Small Business Launchpad is the exact same thing, 8 weeks of business programming for those just starting or new businesses, for people that have been previously incarcerated, those people that have state or federal convictions. It's just only for that group of people. So if you know anyone that fits into that category, be sure that application will probably be out in June or something. Okay. My Novel Creations pop-up market series is 8 weeks of programming. It's all marketing. It's for people that make something and sell it. Think about your people, your Etsy's, your people that go to farmers markets, art fairs, and things like that. They make something and they sell it. Okay. This is just for them. That application goes up in July, and classes are September and October. Okay. And then I have my annual business and nonprofit conference. It's 3 days. Obviously, this is last year's. It will be similar this year. It will be October 7th through 9th. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 2 of those days are in person at the Clark Family Branch. The Friday, the third day, is all virtual. Last year, over those 3 days, we had 53 sessions. If that tells you there's something for absolutely everybody in that program. Once again, it's at the library. It's free. So these are examples, some of our bigger initiatives for businesses. Okay. At our Clark Family Branch as well, we have a creative lab. To those of you who might have kids, it's called basically a maker space, if you will. So what this is a room. This is our hardware. We have specialized computers. They have Apples, whereas the rest of the system does not. We have a recording studio. Here we have an example of some of the instruments we have, but if you need to make music and you need to bring your instrument, that's perfectly fine. So in one space, you have you're using it to make music, and then behind the wall, you have someone who can sit there and monitor it, do all of the mixing and things of that nature. Okay. We have maker machines. These are very important for small businesses who want to create their own marketing materials, for example. We have the Cricut, the t-shirt press, the 3D printers, the laser cutters. We have a large format printer. And when I say large format, it can be as wide as 3 feet and as long as 10. And you can tell you get to choose your paper type. Okay, so if you're ever making banners, for example, you can go and pay a lot of money, or you can come here. It costs you, but it is significantly cheaper. Now, with your library card, you get $5 free printing every month. So that printing, that credit applies to, your anything at the copy machine, but it applies to 3D printer and the large format printer as well. Very cool. Okay. And drawing tablets and your audio media equipment, because we have that green screen as well. So this is the hardware at in the space. And the software, we have a full range. A lot of times people can't afford all of these things. So we have the full, I need to get rid of you guys here. Looking at you. I don't need to look at you. The full Adobe suite. Okay, we have people that literally do their job here. We have people come in, create albums. We have people come in and do podcasts. We have graphic designers who use this software. It's free. Graphic design and illustration. Okay, if you're one of these talented individuals, these mean more to you than me, because I'm not one of those talented people. Web design, okay, photo editing, audio production, okay, video production, 3D design, which is becoming more. If anyone out there, for example, is an inventor and has to create a prototype, that is a huge use of our 3D printers that people use a lot. Game development, do you know someone who's into making video games? Okay, so you can see the software that is available and the hardware in our creative lab. Okay, so some of the things I'm showing you tell you how we can save you money, but we can also make you money. And they estimated, and I think this figure is a little old, but if you were to have one of their sessions here, what it is, they come out to an approximate $13,000 a year if you were to use just basic services provided to businesses at the library. Okay, so we're going to come into, right now we're going to go into a few of our our website or our databases. Now, we talked quickly about Udemy and LinkedIn Learning. Does anyone have any questions about those? Or maybe I should ask or wait.
There's a question in the chat that the Mary asked. Uh, oh shoot, let me see. How do we get information for this? My email. How to get office space. Are you saying, do you want a copy of
Well,
this
can you
presentation,
hear
Mary?
me? Can you
I can
hear
hear
Yes.
me?
you. Yes.
So what I wanted to know is I did not know that you did. I know I went in the city library and they do banners. But do you
It's
do
the
the
same
banner?
thing. They have the 3 locations. We have the 1. It's the
Okay, but
same thing.
do when you make the banner, do you put the stick on it that you can hold up to it, or is it just a poster?
You would have to, it's just the poster part. There are no other things. It's just what's being printed.
Okay, so the next thing I need to know for the shirts, because I wanted to go out and, so you're saving me money. I wanted to go out and
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
invest in the Marianne Network t-shirts. But with that press, can I take it and go buy polo shirts and use the polo shirts?
Now, I would recommend, I want you to see this. You're all sitting here. See where this says library services? We're going to talk about this later. But if you come here to one-on-one assistance, you
Mhm.
can book one of these experts for an hour at a time. Okay. That book a maker is if you need help with anything related to the Creative Lab.
Okay, and I have one other question. The space with the entrepreneur space that you bring out, is that only in the library? Is there an outsource? Is there another location that's
No,
not the
all of
library?
these spaces, everything is within the confines of the library.
Okay, okay, you can save money like that. You really can, because
Okay.
office space is expensive, and if you're a
Yes, it
business
is.
owner,
So,
sometimes
Mary,
you're not always there.
all right, we're going to move on. She'll probably answer some more of your questions as she finishes her presentation. Okay.
Okay. So I wanted to show you this. One way to show you we're going back to our databases again, is legal forms. Let's talk about legal forms. Now, I'm not suggesting you don't need and should not use an attorney. I am suggesting, however, that maybe you can create a form and have it reviewed by them so they're not doing it all, which saves you a lot of money, right? It also gives you an opportunity to go in and become familiar with it before you go to an attorney. So you're not wasting time sitting in front of them. Oh my gosh, I don't know my card number. Oh, seriously? Sorry about that. And this isn't even just business. I mean, if you want to get a divorce, if your family law, if you look at things like that. But let's go to business. All your starting docs, okay? Your business plan. What if you have just contracts? Let's just do contracts, right? Almost every business out there has a contract. So, bill of sale, partnership agreement. Anyway. Oh my gosh, just pick something. So this creates a document as you go. Just so you know, we're in the state of Missouri, so all of the information is for Missouri. The same database, if you were to go to another state, would probably have all of that for that state, okay? And that's important to know because if you have a multi-state business, you just need to know. And so here you can say, you can add this information as you go. Okay? And then it creates things. Let me see if I can. Okay, so here's things I had done before so you could see. And at the end, you print it, download it, change it, edit it, it doesn't matter. But you can see the form, okay? So if anything, you can read it, and then if you have to go to an attorney, you've had an opportunity to read it. You don't have to go to them and then have them explain it, okay? And I just think this is really, really important. So there, you have access to legal documents is what I'm saying after all that, okay? I'm sorry, we just started so late, so I feel like I'm speeding a little bit. So Udemy and LinkedIn Learning are those self-paced learning opportunities, and Law Depot is legal. Next, we're going to hit briefly on a few of these. These are databases that help you with industry research. They help you with competitor research, customer and market research. I'm only going to go into one of them today, and is Reference Solutions. The reason you have this is so that it reminds you of what we're dealing with, but let's just go back here again. Why does it keep coming up to that? ARG. Once again, Research and Learn. This is where all of our databases are. This one is called Reference Solutions. So we're going to R. This one is available at the city. Now, you need to be aware, all electronic resources, whether it's ebooks, whether it's databases, you cannot go between library systems. You cannot use your St. Louis City Library card at the county library to access databases and vice versa. Fortunately, if you live in St. Louis City, if you live in St. Louis County, obviously St. Charles County, St. Jefferson County, you are eligible for a St. Louis County Library card. You just have to go into the branch and get it, okay? So Reference Solutions. What this is a huge database, and you can see it basically is really a blown out white pages and yellow pages. So you have access to 161 million residents, 117 million businesses. Okay, so let's talk about that. So if you need someone's phone number, you try to Google it, they're going to charge you, right? Have you ever gotten to those paywalls before? Very frustrating. So you can come here and do that. So let's just say you want, come on. This is if you know a person's name. But say you wanted to, you wanted all of the residents in this zip code. There's 5,200 of them. It tells you their name, their address, their phone number, but please, please read this. Telephone numbers may be on a do not call list. Okay, you are responsible for that. So just keep that in mind, if you will. So if you just needed to know who all is in this address or this zip code, this city, this state, this block, you have access to that information. So what's really cool about this is you could come over here and maybe come into charts. And you can say, oh, that's nice, but for my business, I want to know who makes basically over $100,000 a year. Say, you know, you are a house cleaner and you know from history that your customers have a certain income criteria. So you have reduced it to 700 people. Okay. So this is just a way to use that information. Okay. Say you wanted once again, you're going to people, you don't care where they live per se, but you want to know the metro area. We're going to choose, where's Missouri? We're going to choose the St. Louis metro area. Do you all know that the St. Louis metro area includes a good portion of Illinois on the other side of the river? And what I want to know is how many of them are into motorcycles, because I do something related to motorcycles. I repair them, body work, things like that. There's 26,000 plus people that have purchased or interest history in motorcycles in the St. Louis metropolitan area. Your dollars, marketing dollars, are very, very expensive, as is your time. To the extent you can narrow your search to reach the appropriate people, this is important, okay? So once again, you can go into this and you can say, okay, now I know they're enthusiasts, but I want to know only those, once again, that make over 100, because I do specialized motorcycles. Okay, so you're down to 3,100 people. That's cool, okay? You can even put them on a map. Excuse me. So you can see where they are. Okay? So say one day you wanted to go knock on doors, put a flyer on those specific doors if you wanted to. You can literally plan out your entire thing, right? So that's just another way. And like I said, I am whipping through this very quickly. Say, for example, I have to finish here after this one. You're looking for, you have a B2B business and you want to do something, you're a paralegal, for example, and you need to know who your clients are attorneys. And so I want to know all the attorneys in, I don't even have to pick, I'm just going to pick in Abbey, Nebraska. Yeah, there are none, just for the record. Okay, so let's go down to a place we know. Let's go back to, where do we go? Oh, okay, I want to do just Missouri, all the attorneys in Missouri. 6,400, these are offices, not attorneys, offices. So you know, if this is your customer base, you know who you're dealing with. And once again, you can come to this chart and you can see, for example, are you targeting all of the little guys? So you can determine that by sales or employee size. So I want the attorneys that have 1 to 4 employees, the firms, where you could say, no, actually, I want those that have, get rid of my 1 to 4. And here you can break it down by zip code as well, because we picked Missouri, right? That's huge. So you can see these are the biggest zip codes. So you could say, okay, I'm going to start here. Once again, it's about finding your information. Okay, I have sped through this. I apologize, but we don't have time to get into the rest of this. But we have simply analytics, and that's about the customer demographics. That is market research. It gives you those psychographics. And I want to show you what a psychographic looks like in this case. And you can say, what is my demographics in this particular, say, zip code or city? And the biggest population is this P is this mid-scale melody. They name them some curious things. So this tells you about that group generically. There's no lists here. It tells you about this group. So you know at a glance how old they are, the size of their house, their size of their income and children. But what's really cool is, this is important, the channel preference. This is where they get their media. Why does that matter? Because look at here, this is radio, right? This has got to be social media, maybe. I'm sure. But if you're trying to reach them versus in social media and they're listening to the radio, that's how they get their ads, then you're spending your dollars wrong. You're not reaching your audience. So knowing where they get their media is critical to your marketing success. And then the next page further goes on to tell you about them in words, not statistics, so that you know how to market to them. Okay? Extremely receptive to radio and TV. Mix it up there. From a spending perspective, has less fun. Top of the line brands, but it just goes on and on. This is very important. This is how you get into the nitty gritty of what they're thinking, feeling, doing. Okay. Okay. So how do you get access to all of these resources? Your library card. Okay. Here's how to get those library cards. And you can see how easy it is. Okay. My small business newsletter, which, is my own creation. So of course it's most awesome. You can send me emails, or you just sign up for it here. That's why this is kind of important. Now, that book a librarian, what that is you're going to say, okay, I get that there's enough I want to know, but that was way too fast. So I need to know this. You fill out that form. Okay. Your name, your email address, tell us when to contact you, and then we are going to contact you and set up a meeting at a place, the library that's closest to you, most convenient to you, or virtually, and tell us what you want to talk about, right? Specifically, so that we're coming in prepared and we're not wasting your time. People do these multiple times as well. This is a lot of information, okay? And I think it needs to be said, this is my little lecture for the day, AI gets all of its information from the internet, right? And it can do some incredible things. The information we have in our databases is not on the internet. It is behind a paywall. AI cannot access information behind a paywall, at least not today. I mean, sometime in the future, but today, so you can't say I use AI for everything. Well, what's happening is it's only as good as the information on the internet. Okay, so this is, if you would like to find a way to find legitimate resources, research, I should say, then I suggest you kind of dip your toe into these waters. Okay, that's that. Call us here, chat us here, email us here. And there's me. You know what? I have no idea what that QR code is. Huh. And that's it. That's all I have. So, questions? Anybody? Oh, let me see what chat says. How do we get, does it have AI training? Yes, AI training. When you go into those, we have a lot of AI training in our in-person programs. We have a lot of training on AI and digital content or computer stuff. How do we get information for this? For what? I have no idea. Anybody questions? Want to unmute?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
I can.
I have a question now. I did rent a laptop, and I turned it back in, but then I received something in the mail saying that you all don't have that program no more. So do you still have a laptop program?
There's a program different from now. You can check one out, and the waiting list for that is huge.
Right, I know, because I was on it
So
for,
yeah, those still exist.
okay,
Mhm.
okay, that's it. Thank you for good
You bet.
information.
You bet. Any questions? If anyone wants me to go over I can show you the numerous places we have where you can access AI training and like coding training and you want me to show you? Just a minute. Okay. Okay, so we're back here at our website. Oh my gosh, I just know why this is like that. Rah. Okay, so one of the things you can do besides Udemy and LinkedIn Learning, okay, we can go to, let me go to take you to Treehouse. Crazy name though, I'm telling you. I know you have to get out of here and you have to complete the registration form. Okay, here's all of the topics. Look at all of these things. AI, vibe coding, JavaScript, Python. So you can see all of these things. Okay, right there. This is beginner. This one's beginner. Intermediate, so you get more complicated as you go on. And you can see each one of these things. And they're in little bite-sized pieces. Okay? But all of this
I
text.
don't see what you're saying.
Oh, you don't see my screen?
I can see your screen, but part of it, I don't see. You said where it says is in bits and pieces.
Oh, like right here. Right here it says 8 minutes, 32 minutes, 11
Okay,
minutes.
I don't see that. What I see underneath is the RECA information, text help, winter reading challenge. That's it.
Oh.
That's okay because it's 12:57 and we can round this out. I do know how to set up an appointment with the librarian though, and I could get more information on how to do that. This has been impressive. All of this, oh my goodness, I didn't even know you guys had as much as you have. So I'm grateful to you, Regina, for enlighten us to all the things that the library has to offer for small businesses and for personal as well. This
Oh,
is
haven't
good.
you?
We appreciate you. If anyone wants the link, it'll be on our website, Justine Peterson, YouTube at Justine Peterson. All of our lunch and learns are located there, or you can select an appointment with a librarian.
The
so
best thing to do. Yeah.
so thank you all for attending. We appreciate your presence here and look forward to seeing you guys in later lunch and learns. Regina, this was amazing. Thank
You
you.
bet.
Have a great remainder
Anytime.
to your
Thank you
day.
all. Stay warm in the next few days.
All right.
Bye.